Why would two of Korea's top stars risk everything to travel to a country shaken by tragedy? Breaking: Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun are reportedly heading to India for a charity mission. Just days after a devastating plane crash claimed 242 lives, what's driving this shocking decision? Is there more to this story than meets the eye? Let's uncover the truth together, only on Red Carpet Revealed. It was a calm, cloudless afternoon in India, until tragedy ripped through the skies. On June 10, the world watched in horror as Flight AI-171, a routine Air India domestic route carrying 230 passengers and 12 crew members, crashed moments after takeoff from Ahmedabad Airport. The aircraft failed to gain altitude, skimming the city skyline before erupting into a massive fireball just minutes into its journey. The devastation was immediate. Families were shattered, lives obliterated in a heartbeat. Social media flooded with frantic posts, footage of burning debris, and haunting cries echoing across neighborhoods. But while India mourned, two unexpected names emerged from across the sea: Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun. Why them? The global question. When South Korea's biggest entertainment agencies confirmed that Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun were voluntarily flying to India for a charity mission tied to the crash, the entertainment world froze. These weren't just celebrities. They were symbols, icons of glamour, resilience, and perfectly packaged lives. So why would they willingly step into the emotional wreckage of a foreign nation's worst aviation disaster in years? Was this just a PR move? A publicity stunt? The truth, as it turns out, is far more shocking, and far more personal. The hidden backstory, what the headlines didn't reveal. According to a confidential insider close to Gold Moon Entertainment, the agency managing both stars, Kim Ji-won had been planning a personal visit to India for months. What started as a quiet exploration of her spiritual side, connected to an orphanage she anonymously supported, was suddenly catapulted into international focus. And then, after the plane crash, she made a call. She said she couldn't turn her back on those people, the insider shared. She wanted to cancel everything else. Awards, shoots, interviews, none of it mattered anymore. She was crying. But why did Kim Soo-hyun follow? That's where the story deepens. According to a source within Studio Genie, the production house behind their latest drama Silent Horizon, Soo-hyun and Ji-won had grown immensely close during the project. More than co-stars, the staffer whispered, were each other's safe place. So when Ji-won broke down in the middle of script readings and vowed to go to India, Kim Soo-hyun simply stood up and said, "Then I'm going with you." The room, reportedly, went silent. It delayed, but not the mission. Their trip, now scheduled for June 15th, has already drawn headlines and public curiosity. The pair plan to visit the disaster site, attend a memorial service for the victims, and distribute emergency relief in partnership with the Indian Red Cross. Their agencies released a joint statement. This is not a promotional activity. Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun wish to express their condolences to the victims' families and stand with the people of India in this moment of unimaginable grief. But behind this carefully crafted press release is a narrative so raw and emotional, it's shaking even the most cynical of fans. The letter that changed everything. A handwritten note, posted anonymously on an Indian online forum, may be the piece that ties everything together. Translated from Hindi. The note read, "To whoever reads this, my sister was on that flight. She was a huge fan of Korean dramas, especially Kim Ji-won. When we went to the hospital, her phone was still in her hand. She had been watching Fight for My Way. Please, if there's any way to let Kim Ji-won know, she meant the world to my sister. She died smiling." That post went viral, and within 48 hours, Ji-won's team had already tracked down the author. She was silent for hours, they say, after reading it. And then, she made the decision. Kim Soo-hyun read the same note later that night. One of his close stylists told Red Carpet Revealed, "He didn't say a word. He just stared at the screen for a long time. Then he said, 'She shouldn't do this alone.' And from there, everything changed." The world reacts, praise, shock, and skepticism. Not everyone sees the move as purely altruistic. Critics online question their intentions. Are they really helping, or just putting on a show? celebrities shouldn't turn tragedy into a media opportunity. This feels too perfect. But support has also flooded in. Indian fan accounts launched a movement called #Welcome G1 Soo-hyun, gathering thousands of messages thanking the stars for what many called a rare act of global solidarity. UNICEF Korea posted an open letter praising their commitment and urging the media to focus on the healing power of shared humanity. And the cameras, what they risk. What most don't realize is that this trip comes with tremendous risk. The Indian government has not fully stabilized access to the crash zone due to chemical hazards and ongoing investigations. Several roads remain closed. Only humanitarian teams have been allowed entry. Still, Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun insist on personally meeting families of the victims, including the younger sister of the fan who died while watching Ji-won's drama. They are reportedly bringing a custom-framed tribute photo, handwritten letters, and a donation in her name. Not just about comfort. It's about standing in the pain with them, said Soo-hyun during an internal Zoom call, later leaked to Red Carpet revealed. Their medical teams have been dispatched ahead of them to assess safety. Local Indian volunteer organizations have confirmed they will be joining the stars as translators and cultural liaisons. Closing chapter of Part 1, The Farewell Before Departure. June 14th. Incheon International Airport. Fans gathered, not screaming or waving banners, but holding candles. Kim Ji-won arrived first. Dressed in simple black slacks, no makeup, her eyes already misty. Kim Soo-hyun followed minutes later, head bowed, wearing a beige trench coat and holding a single flower. Before stepping through security, he turned back, eyes scanning the crowd. "We won't let this be forgotten," he said softly, voice cracking. No interviews. No media frenzy. Just quiet resolve. Flight is booked. Their mission, deeply personal. But the question remains, what awaits them in India? Will this journey bring closure or open wounds too deep to heal? On June 13th, at precisely 4:07 a.m., Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun touched down at Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport in Mumbai, India. There were no red carpets, no fanfare, official media presence. But the moment they stepped into the arrival terminal, something changed. Local volunteers, many of whom had lost someone on flight AI-171, stood silently holding small white lilies, the national symbol of mourning in India. Ji-won bowed low. Soo-hyun followed, eyes wet. Not one word was spoken, but the air was heavy with meaning. A local journalist who witnessed the scene later wrote, "It wasn't a celebrity arrival. It was a human arrival. They came not to perform, but to grieve with us." The drive to Ahmedabad. From Mumbai, the two actors traveled overnight by secured convoy to Ahmedabad, the city nearest to the crash zone. Used private jets, refused extra security. According to their agencies, both insisted on staying in the same basic lodging as local volunteers, avoiding hotels altogether. Why? Because they wanted to live like the grieving. They ate donated meals, slept on floor mats. Ji-won reportedly spent much of the night reading through letters from the victims' families, some of which had been translated into Korean by Indian fans. One letter read, "My father was a pilot. He used to joke, 'My flight ever goes down, I hope Ji-won cries for me.' Today, I cry alone. But now I know someone heard," he cried. The meeting that changed everything. At sunrise, Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun made their way to the makeshift memorial site near the outskirts of the crash zone. Families stood in clusters, many barefoot, clutching photographs and candles. When Ji-won stepped forward, a young girl, no older than 12, ran to her, collapsing into her arms. The girl's name was Asha. Her mother had died on flight AI-171. Her mother had also been the anonymous fan who watched Fight for My Way in her final moments. According to multiple witnesses, Ji-won wept uncontrollably. She knelt, whispered to the girl, then took a bracelet from her own wrist and tied it gently around Asha's. She said, "Your mother smiled with me in her heart. I'll carry her smile forever," said a translator nearby. Hyun stood frozen, eyes locked on the scene. When a grieving father fell to his knees at his feet, Hyun bent down, held him close, and simply said, "I'm so sorry. I'm here." That moment, captured by a local reporter on his phone, has since gone viral across Indian and Korean social media. An emotional donation ceremony. That afternoon, in a small hall adjacent to the local Red Cross headquarters, Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun presented two donations, one in the name of every victim, and a second marked with a note, "For the children left behind." The amount was not disclosed. Insiders revealed it was significant. Enough to fund educational scholarships for all minors who lost a parent in the crash. They also pledged 100% of their next drama endorsement fees to build a memorial library and grief center near Ahmedabad. When asked why they were doing this, Ji-won answered in a trembling voice, "As one fan held my drama in her final moments. That's not something I can ever forget. It's my turn to hold her family now." Soo-hyun simply added, "This isn't about who we are. It's about who they lost." The whispered truth, something more? But the emotional resonance of the visit isn't the only thing drawing attention. Fans and netizens alike began to wonder, was there something more between Ji-won and Soo-hyun that finally came to light in India? One eyewitness described a moment late at night, near the Ganges Memorial candle lighting. "They thought no one saw," the source said. "But he held her hand. She didn't let go. They didn't speak. Stood there, two shadows clinging to each other." Another claimed to have seen Soo-hyun wiping tears from Ji-won's cheek, whispering something in Korean before wrapping his arms around her briefly. "He looked like he was protecting the most fragile thing in the world," the eyewitness described. Speculation exploded online. Were they in love? Did this tragedy bring them closer? Has their bond gone beyond just friendship or co-stars? Their agencies refused to comment. But one staff member from the trip confessed off record. This changed them. You could see it in their eyes. They walked in as stars. They left as something more, maybe even soulmates. Turn to Korea, but not the end. On June 19, Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun quietly flew back to Seoul. Media were invited. No press briefings held. Walked through the gates of Incheon International Airport, hand in hand. Photographs leaked almost instantly. Though neither has officially confirmed a relationship, actions have spoken volumes. Ji-won has since updated her official fan cafe with a heartfelt message. "There are no words strong enough for what we saw and felt in India. But know this, we were forever changed. For those who loved us even in their last moments, we will keep your memory burning bright." Soo-hyun, ever more reserved, posted a single black and white photo, the bracelet Ji-won gave Asha, now tied to his own wrist. What's next for Korea's most beloved duo? Industry insiders say this isn't the end of their involvement with India. In fact, rumors have emerged that the two are planning to launch a global charity campaign called From Seoul to the World, focusing on emotional trauma recovery for children impacted by disasters. Whether or not their bond turns romantic, one thing is clear: Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun's journey to India wasn't just a mission, it was a transformation. They reminded the world that even in the face of unspeakable tragedy, there is light to be found, through empathy, courage, and the quiet power of presence. Final reflection: from mourning to meaning. The pain of the crash that took 242 lives will never be forgotten. But neither will the image of two Korean stars standing shoulder to shoulder with a grieving nation, kneeling in ashes, lighting candles in silence, giving everything they could without asking anything in return. As Red Carpet revealed closes this exclusive coverage, we leave you with the words of 12-year-old Asha, girl who lost her mother but gained something unexpected. Came for her. They cried for us. And now, I know I'm not